Guys, meet jumpsuit part 2. Helen Hunt, Twister. Yay. I love jumpsuit part 2. And I'm excited for the world to love jumpsuit part 2 as well. Already, I just made a debut. I ran out to the grocery store and a girl already complimented me on it, so I was excited. Little wins. Yeah, I've had a day off. It's been nice. I've been exactly what our message is for the day. I've been hermiting it up, having my hermit time in my hermitage. And it's just been a really nice day. I was like, my batteries were so low. I just needed to have a nice staring at the wall day. And I learned that term and I learned to embrace that because of Amanda Palmer from the Dresden Dolls. She wrote this memoir called The Art of Asking, I think, or The Art of Receiving. I can't remember. I think it's The Art of Asking. And she goes back and like talks about her just like coming together with this band, the Dresden Dolls, and how they built like this like huge cult following, but like kind of like one person at a time kind of thing. And she talked about like just her process as an artist and like years that she spent, like her job was, she was a professional busker, and she found like this like old wedding dress and she like painted herself white, and she was a bride, and she like made eye contact with people and like had this like really solemn, soulful moment and like gave them a flower in exchange for $1. And like that's how she like made a living. And she like lived in one of those like really cool old houses where like 1 million people live there, and it's like a movie from the 90s, sort of like that PCU movie or whatever. Like that was her real life. But she talked about not feeling guilty as an artist for needing staring at the wall time. And that is so true, because you just fill up like your day from like task to task to task. And unless you allow yourself to just meander and not be distracted by anything in particular and just let your mind wander, then it's hard to really like allow yourself to surrender into like a trance or like having a thought, or like kind of tapping into that subconscious that comes up when we kind of get into those states. So today was good. I was too tired to like go out running, and it was kind of rainy anyway, so I didn't need to garden or water the plants. The house was already clean, the bills were already paid, so I just like kind of danced and like took it easy and did some creative fun things and just really meandered, and it was nice. And now I feel rejuvenated. Ooh, I did some dancing. I got my boots on and I got some dancing in, so that was really super fun. I feel good. I feel like kind of stretched out, and it just feels nice to like put yourself through a discipline like that. And yeah, and the pole's fun because you're just swinging around being acrobatical and like freak nasty. So it's a good time. So yeah, let's get to our message. So our midweek message, we first pulled King of Swords, followed by the Hermit, followed by Queen of Pentacles. And it's really funny to me recently how like these repeating characters are coming up, and it's almost like these are like, we all have all of the people in the deck within us, but also these people in the deck represent other people in our lives and situations we find ourselves in. And the archetypal like major arcana cards are like those bigger, energies in our lives. And so it's so funny how these characters keep coming up, and it's almost like our own personal evolution, but it's almost like representing some storyline, going on around us, which is kind of funny and it's kind of hilarious. So the Queen of Pentacles is back, and I feel like the Queen of Pentacles is the woman who's graduated from being the Nine of Cups woman. And like the Nine of Cups was like, we kept getting that, and now it's like, okay, like we're starting to have our wishes fulfilled, and we're starting to see that we're starting to gain a lot of security and confidence there. And now we're like becoming the Queen of Pentacles, because we have our ace up our sleeve, and we have that Ace of Pentacles there. We've got it. We've got our shit. We've got our plan. We know what we're doing, right? So first, today, the King of Swords shows up. And the King of Swords hasn't really shown up too recently, I don't think. But in this particular case, I would point out that the mental landscape here is fairly serene and uncomplicated. It's in nature. It's like out amongst the trees, and it looks kind of high up. So it's an elevated consciousness. It is a simplified consciousness that has space to breathe, and it's very natural and very nourishing, up in the clouds even. And so the birds are here carrying messages and downloads and realizations, and the transformation is represented by the butterflies that crown the king, the crown above the crown even. So very high consciousness here. The sword of truth represents your grasp on your own personal truth within and your ability to express that in the world, and also to have a fairly good grasp on like objective truths as well. The King of Swords is a really, really great leader because they're very decisive, and they've understood how to like use their wisdom and apply it. But they can also become like really strictly business and overly cerebral. So like it's good for the king not to get too into their head, or like too harsh or too like cutthroat. And it's good to remind themselves to like maintain their compassion and their heart-centeredness, because the air, like too much air and too much like head, like up in your head, it can cause like coldness, aloofness, alienation. So this king is like the least sexual, the least passionate of all. It's like the most platonic, like asexual character in this deck, because it's just like this person that's like so up in their thoughts and overthinking maybe. That's the shadow. So one of the shadow sides of the queen or the King of Swords. Also, the King of Swords is very confident what they think, but sometimes that can work for you and against you. So be open to new ideas. Don't get too rigid in your thinking, but also be confident in your understanding and in your intelligence and in your capacity to be quick and be a great problem solver and be really great at putting systems and stuff in place and managing people. So that's really good. On a personal level, I feel that what this represents within the scheme of these other two people or messengers or aspects of the story is that we are gaining a lot of clarity around an issue, or maybe layered issues that have been affecting our life up until now. And so if you've been watching these videos, you are realizing that we're all like going into this big chapter, this new chapter. And so many people are having like big rebirths and fresh moments and, you know, starting over. And I guess like TikTok, they're calling it like their villain moment, like where you're just like prioritizing yourself, and it's like there's no need to villainize it, but it's like, yeah, go out there and have the audacity to like not need permission or, you know, approval or validation from everybody or anyone. It's just like, do the damn thing, you know, whatever's in your heart. Like if it's the truth for you, then like go for it, you know? So, we're getting clarity, I think, around, a lot of early childhood issues that have buried themselves deep in the subconscious and are still left over playing out old patterns. Because you might be thinking at this point, you're like, man, I've done so much work on things and I feel like I should be like really catching this wave coming in, but I just feel like there's still like this, like something blocked there or like something stagnant. And so these subconscious patterns are coming up and you're getting more and more clear on them. And because you're able to spend some time alone and like get in touch with those things coming up right now, and it's supported by this energy. And because of that, you're becoming so much more secure and you're having so much more self-worth. You're mastering that taking that emotional well-being and having it reflected in the way that you show up in your world, in the physical choices that you make, in the actions that you take, in the routines that you set in place for yourself, the way that you take care of yourself, the way that you take care of your household and your kingdom and take care of the people around you and show up to, you know, all the different moving parts and pieces of your life. So well, good on ya. Well done. We're all doing really good. I also felt that this one of, or specifically somewhere to look within the subconscious, we had themes this month around parent healing. And the other day, mother healing came up, and this is the counterpart to that. So it's going to be the father healing. And this is specifically targeting issues around oppressive, controlling, stern, a kind of aggressive, like overly dominant fathers, strict, stern fathers, right? This is to heal those issues, because having parents that were overly controlling might have hindered your ability to feel confident in making your own choices for yourself without feeling like the universe is going to punish you for it. So letting go of all that baggage and really claiming your own sovereignty for yourself and your own life, because at the end of the day, you're the only one who has to answer for yourself if you didn't show up for your mission. Oh, that was my speaker. Bell ring off. Yes, I hear you, girl. Yeah, so if you didn't show up for your mission, then you're the one that's going to have to answer for it. If you didn't, follow your own direction and your own integrity because you were afraid of ruffling the feathers of the people around you, then you're going to have to answer for that too. There are so many instances where people, that were following Jesus were like, oh, are we supposed to like abandon our families and like hit the road with you? Or like, are we supposed to like go against what they believe and like listen to what you say? And like, we'll be rebelling against our parents. Like, I'll be rebelling against my husband. And basically he was like, look, it's up to you. But I'm saying go for it, not telling you what to do, but yeah, you are the only one that has to like answer for you. You're your own person. Like, you think for yourself, you answer for yourself, you create your reality. Or you're at the mercy of it and you're choosing that, and you don't have to. So cool. Well, stern father healing. And this father could too also be maybe not so mean or scary, but maybe he's just strictly business. Maybe he was just like very like distant, unemotionally available, detached, busy, like the vague, distant father figure that a lot of us grew up with. Just kind of a character, a background extra, if you will. Not really a main character in the movie so much, but there, yeah, so those things will come up, but it's good to just work through them, follow those feelings, let them come out, explore them, play with them, and see where they take you. I've had a lot of like really cool realizations this week that have just led me in all kinds of different directions, and I'm feeling very stable, very, very solid, very good. So yeah, you guys, well, I'm gonna hop off here and start chilling out, doing that thing, eat dinner. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be real good. I'm gonna watch something good. I've been on a kick watching The Chilling Tales of Sabrina. I'm not usually like big on teenage movies or shows, but like, I guess I say that, but that's not true because I also love Anne with an E. I was just healing my inner child, I guess, probably. But Chilling Tales of Sabrina is a pretty intense show. It's really well made. It's really dark, graphic novel. Very awesome cast. Like, I love the show. It's really good. But anyway, I'll probably watch a couple of episodes of that tonight. Looking forward to it. And I still have my chicken tikka masala. And I got more naan today. Garlic naan. So that'll be fun. It's none of yours. All right. Ciao, bellas.